Hi guys, it's Mike at Mike's Auto Care. I hope everybody's well out there. Just a quick one, so we talk about improper wash techniques. We talk about vehicles that gradually over time deteriorate and look worse and worse and worse, and some people aren't exactly sure the reasons why. And then the other vehicles that have had the proper treatment, they're cared for correctly, and they stay looking good and don't deteriorate over time. So this is a perfect example. We're doing a ceramic coating on this Transit Custom. But unfortunately, either the previous owner, whoever has washed the vehicle, over time have washed it improperly to a point where there is so much now for us to correct. So let's give you an example. So if you bring the camera around in here, you should be able to see. Can you see that literally thousands and thousands of little swirls? So basically in nature, obviously nothing really scratches in a perfect circle like that. So that's where it's been rubbed, you've got dirt, you've got contamination on the paintwork, and it's all being rubbed around the paint, and then gradually you get more and more and more to a point where literally every panel on the vehicle is covered in them. It's really bad. So the main thing when you're washing is a side-to-side wash technique. So if you were to accidentally, get a scratch in there, if you've gone side to side, it's much easier to remove just a straight scratch than it would be to remove thousands of small swirls. You call it a hologram, you can call it cobwebbing. I call them love marks because I think people clean their car and they're like, oh, I love my car, but unfortunately, as much as they love it and as best as they're trying, you're actually making the vehicle worse and you're putting these marks in which we don't want. So on this area up here, this is only just the first stage of the correction, but there you should be able to see the difference where that's been corrected here. A lot better. And then we move over to a section where we haven't yet corrected. You should be able to see, I hope they show up on camera, there's just so many of them. It is literally, it's probably billions, there are so many. And that's just every time it's washed. It's been washed improperly and it's just deteriorated the vehicle. Obviously it's added a haze to it as well. If you're washing your vehicle, just think about how you're doing it. Use two buckets, don't use the same bucket because you've got dirt in the bucket. It comes off the vehicle into the bucket. You might have a grip guard in the bottom, but you're still going to be having dirty water. So you want another bucket. You get nice soapy water on once you've pre-rinsed and everything. Nice soapy water. And then into a separate bucket, rinse all the dirt off, back into your nice soapy water. And away to go again, but always remember side to side, don't push really hard and rub like this, you're going to damage it, and don't hit it with a huge amount of pressure on a pressure washer, it's going to do exactly the same thing. Some of the little lines you see are where you get a particle on the paint, it gets hit with a lot of pressure, it's not going to bounce off the paint, it's going to go across the paint and leave all these little marks. So that's another thing to bear in mind when you do your pre-rinse, don't do it under high pressure, and just be ever so careful, just be gentle. Take your time, don't rush the wash. Do it properly and it'll avoid putting all these marks in, and ultimately it'll hold the value in your vehicle and keep your vehicle looking a lot better for a lot longer. Just to bear in mind when you're washing, look after your vehicle. It doesn't really cost anything, just takes a bit more time and a bit more of a sympathetic wash, and ultimately it'll stay better for longer. So that's it guys, we'll catch up with you again soon.